at the third time CEO summit in London, where he faulted the Supreme Court for ruling in favor of President Uhuru Kenyatta and his deputy William Ruto, while at the same time acknowledging that there was a fault in the tallying process. Catherine Omwanto reports.
During his speech at the third time CEO Summit Africa in London, the former Prime Minister spoke candidly about the just concluded election petition. Raila said that despite the apparent failure by the Supreme Court to make a fair ruling on the election petition by AfriCog and himself, he accepted the judgment. He further said that the candidates, the media and the international community as well as the public were held hostage by the fear of violence, that no one could speak freely on certain subjects for fear of inciting violence. During the election petition, the Inspector General of Police, David Kimayo, banned public gatherings and security in Nairobi was beefed up to counter any threats of violence. And to this, Raila said, "We accepted the verdict of the Supreme Court without peaceful protests. We sacrificed justice for peace. We did it for our country and Africa. Time will tell how right or wrong we were." Raila's statements come after Chief Justice William Tunga denied claims that he received a bribe to rule in favor of the President Uhuru Kenyatta and his deputy William Ruto. Catherine Omwanto, KTN.
The Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission has admitted that the high level of trust Kenyans had for the Commission has suffered due to the hitches experienced in the March 4th general election.
However, the IEBC maintains that they conducted a free and fair election in accordance with the laws of Kenya.
The Vice Chair of IEBC, Lilian Bokeh Maherizaja, spoke exclusively to KTN's political editor, Noah Otieno, and here is that interview.
The Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission is just preparing to begin its audit of exactly what happened in the general election of March 4th, 2013, and what they have taken from it. Today, I'm privileged to be joined by the Vice Chair of the IEBC, Lilian Maherizaja. Thank you, ma'am, for agreeing to this interview. To start off, just tell us the Commission's honest preliminary assessment of what you have taken out of the election of March 4th.
Thank you very much, Noah, for this interview. And I would like to tell Kenyans that we are confident that we conducted the general election in accordance with the law and in accordance with the Constitution. However, as was witnessed during the whole process, we had some hitches here and there, and these are the issues we shall be looking at when we embark on the internal evaluation.
There has been a lot of talk, speculation, that perhaps the Commission was rushed to conduct the election, that maybe you needed much more time to test the equipment that you had bought as a Commission and to prepare to use the technology that you had acquired.
The speculation is not too far-fetched because remember, time was always a challenge for the Commission. And remember that when we came into office, November 2011, we had a very, very strict statutory timeline within which we were to carry out the boundary delimitations. Then after that, we had to again go through the whole process of the court cases. After that, embark on the voter registration process. Indeed, time was really a big challenge. However, I think, as I said, it's maybe the technological reforms that we were trying to implement during that time that became even more challenging.
In the run-up to the election, the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission was one of the most trusted institutions in Kenya, at least post 2007 election. Do you think that trust is intact today?
You are right that by the time IEBC was preparing for elections, Kenyans gave us huge support, and we want to thank all Kenyans for that support, because at the time we were going for elections, we were at 89% public confidence. But of course, after the process and after we announced the results, people felt that with all the hitches, with all the failures of technology, they could not trust the institution. And of course, because people had different expectations. We actually did not expect them to applaud what we had done. But I think it is important for us to take note that we had a peaceful election, and I think at the end of the day, that's the most important thing.
The presidential election petition, at least for that period of time that it was on, divided Kenyans almost down the middle. How did it affect the members of the commission?
Yes, the country was polarized, and this almost happens at almost every election, that the country is always divided on political lines, tribal lines. But again, we are supposed to be neutral and impartial. So I think as an arbiter in the electoral process, we were able to discharge that duty without any, taking any sides with any political side. Because remember, we know it's a political game, and we are not supposed to be seen that we are taking any sides. We are supposed to be an impartial body.
Should some of the petitions result in by-elections, how does the Commission plan to conduct them? Will you be adopting a different style given the challenges we saw in the main election?
We will use the same technology and the same register, because it is the register that we had certified, remember, as a commission. So nothing will change.
Thank you, ma'am, for your time. Thank you so much for agreeing to this interview. I was speaking to the Vice Chair of the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, Lilian Mahiri Zaja. She's been talking to us about the experiences the IEBC had in conducting the election and the way forward. Back to you.
All right, now as the country marked Labor Day, residents of the former Western Province asked their governors in the 4 counties of Kakamega, Bungoma, Vihiga and Busia to revive the once vibrant industries in the region to create employment. Some of the factories' residents want fixed quickly to create jobs and improve people's living standards include Pan Paper Mills and Kitinda Dairy in Bungoma County. And as Patrick Amimo reports, there is light at the end of the tunnel as a technical audit is underway to determine which of the factories could be revived.
The counties of Kakamega, Bungoma, Busia and Vihiga in Western Kenya have an estimated population of 4.3 million people. According to national statistics, 40% of these people are unemployed and have been so for years, majority being youths, thanks to collapsed industries in the region. The Webuye-based Pan Paper Mills in Bungoma County was once the economic flagship of Western region. The factory has now collapsed. Attempts by the government to revive it have not been very successful. The factory used to produce paper for industrial use and cartons and heavy density paper for packaging purposes. It provided job opportunities to thousands, whose earnings trickled down to farmers and business people, empowering them economically. And as Kenyans marked Labor Day, many in Bungoma expressed optimism Pan Paper Mills could start roaring again.
Natarajia kama Pan Paper vile imekufa, waangalie mradi wa kuamsha Pan Paper ndo county yetu inuke.
Bungoma County Governor says revival of Pan Paper Mills is among the top priorities on his list.
La msingi ni kuona kwamba tuwe na report, technical report ya hizi viwanda zote. Alafu tutajua, sababu naweza kusema pengine ile milioni 50 imeletwa, itaweza kufanya kazi na upate kwamba pengine kile kiwanda hakiwezi kufanya kazi tena.
Dairy farming is another source of income in Bungoma County. Kitinda Farmers Cooperative Society dairy plant stalled 2 decades ago. Last year, the government injected 116 million shillings to revive the plant. Part of the funding was to be used to purchase a 31 million shillings ultra-heat treatment stabilizer and milk collection vans worth 15 million shillings, besides computerizing systems at the processing plant to enhance efficiency. With a membership of 5,000 farmers, revival of the plant targets 1,000 liters of milk daily per single shift.
Hata Kitinda tayari nimeanza kufuatilia zile shilingi milioni 100 ambazo ziliwekwa kwenye budget ya mwaka huu. Nimeongea na katibu wa wizara ya cooperative, akaniambia pesa zinaweza kuwa treasury. Nimeongea na treasury.
Sugarcane farming is also a popular agricultural activity in the 4 counties. 4 sugar factories that includes Mumias, Nzoia, Butali and West Kenya are domiciled in Kakamega and Bungoma counties. Busia Sugar Factory collapsed. Cotton farming used to do well in Busia County. However, the Nambale Cotton Ginnery and the Malaba Malakisi Cotton Ginnery collapsed. cotton farmers in the county are forced to ferry their cotton to Uganda for sale. Majority of the youth in the 4 counties eke out a living as bicycle taxi operators, commonly referred to as boda boda. Some have taken loans to buy motorbikes with the hope of making a quick buck through many trips. But with many idle youth joining the sector, daily earnings have dwindled.
Tusaidiwe kupata mikopo kwa urahisi, kwa sababu unapoenda kule unaomba mkopo unaambiwa pengine leta title deed, leta sijui nini.
Na tunahitaji pesa, at least from the government, pesa kidogo ya kupatia wamama so that wafanye biashara, hata kama ni kulipa walipe baadaye.
Patrick Amimo, KTN.
Let's stay with the sleeping industries. And 1970s saw the emergence of industries in Kisumu, spanning the agricultural, food and manufacturing sectors. But as was witnessed in the rest of the country, this surge was short-lived, with mismanagement and changes in the global economy taking their toll on many of these establishments. KTN's Fredo Mulo takes a look at some of these industries within the context of the newly created county governments and what promise really they hold for job creation.
One of the toughest tasks that Kisumu's county government faces is reviving industrial powerhouses that once dotted the lakeside city. With sugar factories, cotton mills, a brewery and even a match manufacturer currently ill or altogether non-functional, the in-tray is definitely full.
The sugar industries, these are ongoing concerns, apart from Miwani, that have not been doing well and that are under parastatals, that need to urgently be revived. We are happy that the government has recalled most of the loans that were in the sugar industries. That is now opening it for other investors, local or international, to come.
While the national government seeks to privatize Miwani and Muhoroni sugar companies that lie within Kisumu, the county government also has to face the task of rejuvenating Kisumu cotton textile mills.
With Kikomi, I would say it will be a mid-term to longer term to revive it, because of getting land for planting the cotton and then the ginneries, and therefore it will need us to partner with Homa Bay and the other counties like Migori to be able to start off with that. And that cannot be the immediate one, because we are all as counties still busy trying to develop ourselves at the moment.
Kikomi served as the primary outlet for cotton growers who exploited the favorable soils around the lake to cultivate the crop. The runaway success of imported second-hand clothes in the 1990s spelled doom for thousands here, who directly and indirectly depended on the industrial giant for income. Also severely hit was the Kenya Brewery's production plant in the city's industrial district.
Breweries, we need to see if we can become county-specific and start our own breweries. We have the plant there. There's nothing that stops us from actually partnering, doing a PPP, and starting the breweries. It is not something that needs a huge amount of money, neither does it need rocket science, because it's already existing and is one of the ones that will be easier.
The plant is now leased out to a dairy manufacturer but is almost entirely intact, needing a minor investment to resume operations after years of slumber. The current state of collapsed large-scale producers will no doubt present Industrialization Cabinet Secretary nominee Adan Mohammed with a full plate in the event that Parliament approves him. From Kisumu City, I am Fredo Mulo.
Lots of expectations there.
Indeed. Now, Equity Bank has been named the best bank of 2013, scooping the coveted award for the second year running.
The bank was one of the winners at this year's Think Business Banking Awards, which also presented the Lifetime Achievement Award to former KCB Managing Director Martin Odor Otieno. Our reporter Adelaide Changole with the details.
Everyone who is anyone in the banking fraternity showed up for the 8th annual Think Business Banking Awards held yesterday under the theme Putting the Customer First. The event's host and speakers kept the mood upbeat with theatrics and humor.
I was very pleased when PKF came and delivered the results, and you weren't relying on us to transmit them electronically.
Speaker after speaker emphasized the need of good customer relationships, especially for those in the banking sector that are battling for customers in an increasingly crowded and competitive market.
In the future, the winners in any industry will not be those who innovate more than their competitors, but rather, and Nola said earlier, it will be those who listen, who understand and who care about the society.
Diamond Trust Bank won the SME Banking Award and the Product Innovation Award, even as the bank's CEO, Naseem Devji, was named the CEO of the Year. Kenya Commercial Bank scooped the Microfinance and the Retail Banking Awards, while Citibank was named the most efficient bank, as its head of corporate banking, Michael Mutiga, was named the Corporate Bank of the Year. Jamii Bora was named the fastest growing bank, while Equity Bank scooped the lowest charges award and CFC Stanbic won the Customer Satisfaction Award. The Kenya Women's Trust Fund was named the best deposit-taking microfinance institution, and Century DTM won the Product Innovation Award. The best bank in Tier 4 was Habib Bank, in Tier 3 it was Bank of Baroda, in Tier 2 it was Citibank, while Equity Bank was named the best bank in Tier 1.
All right, you're watching KTN Prime.
Thank you so much for staying with us. We're taking a short break. Sports news is up next.
This April on KTN.